Welcome once again. It's Relationships at Work, a leadership podcast helping you build workplace connection, improve culture, and avoid blind spots. I am your host, Russel Lolacher, a communications and leadership expert. A couple of very successful decades in both those areas, and a whole heap of curiosity that continues to fuel my engine, just like you, on how we can make the workplace a better place. This is our mini episode edition to the week. Just some short, quick, valuable bits of information to help your mindset for the week ahead. These are all inspired by the Raw Note newsletter, which you, of course, can always subscribe to for free, whether it's on LinkedIn on our company page or go to relationshipsatworkshow.com. Sign up for free right there at the top. Easy. Easy peasy. What we focus on this week, though, in these mini episodes is something I hope... You know what? Let me take one more step back here. Self-awareness and situational awareness is something we talk about a lot on the show. And I don't think any leader worth their salt, worth anything, doesn't focus a lot on both those things. So we're going to talk a bit about that, especially when it comes to power, leadership power. So our focus today on our mini episode is going to be understanding our leadership influence. With great power comes great responsibility. I don't think I'm putting enough gravitas in my voice for this. I know you've heard it before, especially if you're a comic book nerd like me. It's Spider-Man's mantra, a reminder that embracing the role of a hero comes with consequences. Now, here's the thing. Every single person in a leadership role, anyone responsible for the employee experience of those around them, and if you're a leader, you are, needs to understand this also applies to them, to us. I don't think we as leaders always realize the weight of our impact. From our very first leadership role to our most recent, those we interact with, those we influence, support, guide, are all looking at us for modeled behavior. And we have to take that responsibility seriously. Every offhanded comment or dismissive remark, every action, every inaction, every canceled meeting or memorable meeting, every explanation or lack thereof, our team members and colleagues interpret these moments. They remember them, and each one shapes the relationship moving forward. We have to understand everything. Everything has impact. I remember, at the nudging of my boss, speaking at an executive panel for the first time on a topic I wasn't experienced in. She said she'd have my back. Oh man, no matter what I needed, she was there for me. And when I was on the panel, when I was challenged by the panel, my boss was suddenly nowhere to be found. They missed that day. Takeaway? I wasn't worth supporting. That's what I took away from it. I'm sure as a leader, she didn't see that at all. She just had a busy schedule. She had other things to do. She thought, you know what? You got this. But from my perspective and where I was in my career and my experience, I wasn't worth her time. Another one is I remember a boss telling me when dealing with staff frustrations that all staff are replaceable. That's what he told me. So the takeaway I took from that was staff didn't matter as people. We were just cogs in a wheel, replaceable like a part in a car. Again, I don't think he meant it that way. Going, you know what? We're all just moving along in the same direction. We're interchangeable. But we're dealing with people, not parts. And we have to understand that the impact of those words matter. Another story I'll tell you. I remember a leader who was genuinely surprised. That's the facial expressions, that's the words they used at the progress my team and I made over the course of a year. Surprised. So my takeaway from that was there was no confidence in my ability as a leader. Regardless of my track record, they really didn't think I could do it. And again, I'm sure to those bosses in those moments, their words felt like nothing. Thrown away comments, right? Just off-the-cuff remarks they moved on from. Meanwhile, I carried those takeaways and the feelings attached for years, sometimes decades. And I've talked to you, and you've had similar stories that you've shared with me. Now, I'm far from alone. I regularly ask guests on the podcast, what's your best or worst employee experience? I kick off every guest episode that way. And when it's a negative one, it's often a trauma that's been carried for years. But the flip side is true too. Let's be positive here. Positive experiences, when a leader chooses to support, trust, or recognize, can shape a person's entire career. it can build confidence, it can actually change lives. So here's the question this week. How can leaders better understand our impact on our teams and colleagues? Well, one of the first things we can do is ask for reflective feedback, not just performance feedback. Curiosity. The reoccurring theme on the show. Curiosity is so important, and this is a great opportunity to lean into it. Instead of asking, how am I doing as your leader, try, what's one moment in the past month where you felt most supported or least supported by me? It's a hard question to ask. It might be a very hard answer to get, but it's so valuable. These reflective questions reveal the emotional imprint we're leaving behind, and we need to know it. Another thing we can do is keep a leadership impact journal. Journaling has been so impactful for me over the years. It's work, it's consistency, but the value. And in this case, a leadership impact journal, it's an opportunity to reflect. At the end of each week, just jot down key interactions you had with team members. What you said, what you observed, what the outcome was. Over time, you'll start to see patterns in how your actions are received and how they ripple out. And you can then act accordingly. You've got data to act on. And the last, invite a trust audit. Audits are so good because you can do such a gap analysis from where you want to be and from where you are. So in this case, in a trust audit, encourage your team to anonymously share their perception of how trust, support, and communication are experienced in the team, in their experience. Ask questions like, what do I do that builds trust? And what do I do that erodes it? Then act on what you learn, publicly and humbly. So you're looking for feedback as it happens. You're keeping a leadership impact journal so you can keep track of everything. And you're doing a trust audit where it's perhaps a moment in time. Maybe you do it every season, maybe you do it every quarter, maybe you do it however you want to do it, but it's worth doing consistently because if there are problems and you wait too long to do some of these reviews, people have left by then. A lot of the time people may just leave or the damage might just be done. We have to ask ourselves, are we leading with awareness? Are we choosing our words and actions intentionally? How can we understand the ripples we leave behind us? Leadership isn't a neutral thing. You are either building trust or breaking it. You are either inspiring confidence or diminishing it. You're either showing up with care and kindness or showing your team they're on their own. This role, a leadership role, when we choose it, it comes with power. And the greatest thing we can do with it is own our impact. And in that, we have to understand the impact we even have. So let's go out there and learn. And that will do it for another episode of Relationships at Work, a leadership podcast helping you build workplace connection, improve culture, and avoid blind spots. I'm your host. Thank you once again for joining me, whether it's for our weekly guest episodes or these mini episodes. I value the time you take to expand your leadership development because I'm certainly doing that through my learning, through these guests, through my own research and my own experiences. So thank you so much for taking the time. If you ever want to reach out, you've got some suggestions, ideas, feedback for me, please feel free to do that. hello@russellolacher.com. That's hello@Russel Lolacher, Russell with one L, Lolacher, Lola and Cher. Yeah, it's a long story. That's my last name is spelled lolaandshare.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care of yourself.